Oh, welcome back to the StockSpot channel. So today I'm going to do another English video, and I'm going to talk about Uber Q3 earnings. So Uber opened about 8% lower. Yesterday they closed at almost $100, but now we opened at 91.6, and we've worked our way back up towards 94, in on $95 almost as we speak. Um, so the earnings, they were good. We can take a look at a few slides from the presentation. So they're showing their areas of focus, new NVIDIA partnership for developing autonomous vehicles. Also in that cooperation it's Stellantis, and I think they have a contract for 5,000 AVs. They're expanding their grocery and retail offering. A lot of companies are offering this, for example, Grab or Meituan in China with their Insta shopping platform. Delivery Hero is also offering it, for example, in Eastern Europe and Romania, Czech Republic, and they're also offering grocery and retail. So that's the future. That's one of the growth fields right now in the delivery business. Here they're talking more about GNR, good metrics everywhere. Here we can see the monthly um, trips growing, right? All the metrics looking very good. Cross bookings are growing. They're growing also very fast in comparison to the quarter 24, Q3 24. Revenue growth, very good. Here, adjusted EBITDA grew quite nicely. What was a bit of a disappointment though, they expected the adjusted EBITDA and the operating income to grow a bit more. So here we can see this. Oh, sorry, a bit better in this article from Reuters. So they had some legal fees they have to put back in the cash flows. Here, missed estimates due to legal regulatory costs. The just the EBITDA was expected to grow a bit more than it had. Here you go. Sorry, not the adjusted EBITDA. You can also just say the operating income. They use a lot of non-GAAP metrics, but they're moving closer to GAAP metrics, trying to at least. So they reported 1.1 billion, and they were estimating, the analysts were estimating 1.6. Here we can see it again in ticker. So we have around 1.1, and in 24, Q3 24, and now we're back at 1.1. So not so great, but that's mostly due to legal fees, and Uber has a lot of litigations and legal stuff going on, either with taxi unions or some taxi lobbyists, or they also have some RICO case against California doctors who are supposedly writing fake injury claims or injury reports with Uber drivers involved in order to scam insurance, pretty much. So, but I think this is just all gonna go by because Uber business model is just advanced and economically more sustainable in comparison to the taxi business, especially for the consumer, right? And that's the most important because the consumer is going to choose which model she wants, not what the taxi lobbyists or whoever like whatever unions they want. That's long term. Uber's business model is superior. Right. I also took a look at the AQ. Everything's looking good. Here's also just the earnings release, some commentary from the CEO, largest trip volume, everything's going great. Everything's looking very good. Here I put the transcript into Gemini and searched for some interesting stuff. Here's also where they mention that they're moving from the non-GAAP metrics more towards uh, gap like metrics. So here, why did they want to do that? For better comparability, and also so that management understands that depreciation, software amortization, and also especially stock-based comp, which is quite high for Uber, that they're also a cost, and that those also need to be worked on to increase margins, especially. I also, with Gemini, I made interactive report. It's actually not that bad. I'm gonna fly over this as well. Here you can see key performance metrics, trips growth, gross booking growth, very good, accelerating to pre-COVID levels. Also, just the EBITDA going very nicely, but the margin, of course, could be better when we talked about the legal fees and so on. Um, but the CFO, Mahendra Rajas, he also talked about they're looking more into absolute EBITDA growth and not the relative, so not necessarily the margins, right? They want the number to go up, but the margins they're probably not going to run up as high as they're focusing on more longer term ROI opportunities. So those, especially those automated vehicles, trying to expand their total addressable market, gain market share, increase revenues, rather than work very hard on margins. And because if you work too hard on margins, you're going to cheap yourself out, right? Especially in such a competitive field. Um, yeah, so this is pretty much it for Uber. I like the report. The numbers are good. I cannot complain. I think the price reaction of today is not justified. I bought some more Uber around, uh, what was it? This is the, I bought it on the European Stock Exchange. So let's just look at Vienna. Sure, why not? Yeah, I was buying around here. I was bought at 83, 82. And now, yeah, I've made some loss, but it's okay. I think this stock is undervalued. I think it's gonna head towards 150 within the next time if it keeps moving on this trajectory. Of course, risks as always. Maybe mismanagement of investments into AVs or software, whatever, increasing stock comp or increasing regulatory pressure or increasing competitive pressure. But I don't really see much to hold Uber back right now. I think they've got a very good setup to keep running higher and to make use of the some operating leverage and also expand into AVs, grocery and retail, and other business opportunities. So I'm very happy with this quarter. I hope you gained some insights from my video and see you next time.